What's up, people? What's up?
What is going on, America? Welcome back to the Savage Patriots here on this day, 5 days before the election. I think 5 days, right? 5 days.
Yeah, it's something like 5 or 6 days like that. It's soon.
We're close to
November
election
5th.
time. Yeah. As you can see, Marlon's not here, but Marlon will be here soon. He's
6 days.
taking care of some personal stuff. Jay's got some work issues. So right now it's Coy and I, and we were talking backstage about a certain thing that's trending right now when it deals with hefty cinch sacks and cans. And I know everyone's seen it, and we were talking backstage. It's kind of crazy how the left got upset about a comedian calling an island a garbage dump when it's already been proven by people that live there that it's a garbage dump, trash piling up at a landfill. It's a floating landfill. And they got upset about that, but they don't get upset about what Joe Biden said about voters. What do you think about Trump supporters? What do you think, Quay?
I think it's funny, and that they're making their rounds of trying to apologize and fix his language for to make it seem more palatable that he didn't say what he said, even though we heard what he said and we saw what he said, and everybody's thinking that you can just change things and edit things to make it seem like that didn't happen. Like they changed the transcript for the White House to say something completely different than what he said.
But you know what? You know what's forever, Coy? The internet. The
internet is forever.
It's forever. So here we go. We're going to let you hear from Raggedy Ann herself when she's questioned about it.
So I'm going to play this clip, and then I've got the actual clip of Biden saying the thing, but it just goes to show the dynamic that the messaging they've been trying to do with Joe Biden this entire election.
Address the president's comments yesterday, referring to Trump supporter as garbage.
A couple of things. So just to clarify, he was not calling Trump supporters garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Which is why this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
And so just want to make that very clear for folks who are watching. And I just want to read that out to folks. So he was regarding to the comedian, and I quote, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage," which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. And to your question, your other question that you asked, no, he does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
No, I don't see them as garbage. I see them as Nazis, which is much better.
Yeah, and it's just the attacks, and this is a form of election interference. When you label someone a certain way, and you have uninformed voters out there on the right too, you have uninformed voters that are undecided, and they don't really pay attention to the news cycles. When you get out there and you say things like this kind of changes their mind, with a lie. So, it is a form of election interference. And then for the president of the United States to get up there and call 80 to 90 million Americans garbage, what makes you think that they would take care of you or do right by you as a citizen?
But like I said, it's like, what's the difference between calling them garbage and Nazis? I mean, which would you rather be called? Would you rather be called garbage, or would you rather be called a Nazi or a fascist or a bigot or a racist? Or any of the other number of things that the left has called Trump supporters over the last 8 years or even more, right? Like anybody on the right is now a fascist or he is a Nazi, and Nazi means nothing than them not seeing my point. That's it. Yep. That's that they refer to you. So the worst thing in human history is the thing you refer them to, but garbage is the least amount of things you have to worry about, right?
Yep. So. And you have the left who was upset about the joke. Everybody knows about that. And they went after that comedian. They went after all the supporters for some guy that got up there and said a joke, even though a lot of the people that were there, the supporters, didn't agree with the joke, whatever.
What did you expect? You got the guy that runs Kill Tony, which is a complete roast comedy show, to go do in an event and expect him not to make jokes that are offensive. I'm sorry. Like you I don't know what you were expecting. Maybe it was a bad idea on Trump's part and his team's part to get a roast comedian up there. But is it true? Is always the question. If somebody makes a joke and you laugh at it and it's kind of true, then maybe you should be referring to that situation of why is it funny because it's true, and then maybe we should address why it's true. Hence the point of there was a TikToker that brought up that Puerto Rico actually does have a trash problem and nobody wants to address it.
Exactly. You know, it's all virtue
landfills.
signaling, and the left will find anything to make Donald Trump and his supporters and his base look bad. Doesn't matter what he does at this moment. Trump can say anything. They're going to skewer it and they're going to make it look like something awful. But at this point in the game, majority of Trump supporters, about all of them, their mind is already made up. They've already voted, and some of them are still going to vote. You still have those ones that are undecided, but it's rhetoric like this, stuff like this, that they try to change those people's mind with a lie. Yeah. So we challenge everybody, you know, look for the truth. Don't just watch clips of a video. Go back and watch the full context of a video and then make your decision.
Yeah. The other thing is that them saying that it refers to Latinos. I mean, you're the ones that inferred that. He just made a joke about Puerto Rico. He didn't say Puerto Ricans. He said Puerto Rico. Not everybody is tied to the place that they're at. I mean, there are probably some white Puerto Ricans out there. You know what I mean? Like there are people that exist on that island that are not of Latino descent or from Spanish conquest descent. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like not everybody that lives on Puerto Rico is Puerto Rican, right?
But you know what I want to thank Joe Biden for with that? Sealing the deal.
Yeah,
because he put the nail in the coffin with Kamala, you know, and Kamala, that's her dude, you know, that's her president. She's the vice, and he said it. He didn't stutter. He didn't try to take it back at the end of it. You know, for somebody to say that just with their whole chest, he meant what he said. Yeah, he just said it out loud. He says what he says behind closed doors. This is probably how he talks about Trump supporters. Yeah. And then he said it out loud. It's the same thing with Hillary Clinton, basket of deplorables. It's all the same thing. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to these Democrats, they're telling you exactly what they think about 80 to 90 million Americans. Mm-hmm. They don't care about you. So getting them in office, don't think for a second if you vote for them, they're going to care about you. They just told you what they think about you.
Yep. And I think for context, we should really show the entire clip so people have an understanding of what we're talking about. Like him knowing what he was saying. He said it, and he meant what he said when he said
yes,
it.
And what we're showing you this, we're still going into election interference, but this kind of, you know, is in line with what we're talking about. This is a form of election interference.
This is the reason why they need to.
Yes, this is why they're trying to interfere with the election. Is this it?
Yeah, that's the clip I already have up.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. You know, he says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. Yeah, they're good, decent, honorable people. Yeah. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done.
So I don't know about you, but I didn't hear anything about any comedian. He just said the speaker, right? And then the only garbage I see floating out there are his supporters. That he said that as a clarifying statement, his supporters, not his supporter.
Yep.
Supporters.
So he meant all of you out there in social media, YouTube, Rumble land. That's who he's talking to. That's what he think about you.
Yep. And one to not be outdid by some things that are happening on the internet and memes being actualized. Donald Trump is doing a press conference from a garbage truck.
Answering some questions from
For Joe
reporters.
Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
Is that answering?
So him coming out and doing an entire press conference from a garbage truck is hilarious.
It's amazing.
He gets the internet, man. He gets the internet.
Yes, and as you can all see that the election interference is already starting. You know, there's so many different instances where they're interfering with election, from Pennsylvania to Oregon to Washington. You know, it's already starting. We already knew they were going to do this.
Yeah, it's crazy to me to see the numbers that are coming out on early voting, especially for Republicans. They're coming out in droves that weren't previously seen in other elections. Like, this is the first time I think that we'll actually see the most Republican votes before the actual voting day. I think a lot of people learned their lessons from last election, 2020, right? It's like they didn't come out enough to support, and so therefore they could play some more games. If we don't show up in droves to overwhelm the system, then it's harder for them to actually work the system to benefit themselves. That's what it is.
Yes.
Hello, Marlon.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
I had to pick up the chillins from school.